Hi, it's Lynn with Soft Squares, and we're going to talk about some of this organization stuff I have behind me, as well as how I keep my fabric pieces in the right order. So let's talk about it. Hi, it's Lynn with Soft Squares, and I'm going to do a kind of a all-together stuff that's going on, a show and tell type thing. First thing I want to do is show you my shirt. This is now available in my Etsy store, and it's Soft Squares on Etsy. The link is below. You pick your color and your size. But isn't that cute? This also comes on a mug, so I was excited to see that, and I just got my order, so I have a couple more to show you in the next couple of videos. Just got back from the dollar store, and there's all kinds of things in there that are worth mentioning because I was able to get some things that will be very helpful from the dollar store. So first thing is this tiny little rotary mat. It's at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is where I went. And this will be really handy when I just need a tiny little surface. And when I do the tour of my room, you'll see that there's areas that this will really be helpful in. All right, and then I know this is more for teachers, but I don't care. I love the word awesome, and I love the color. And so I have an awesome cone. And I don't know where I'm gonna put him. Maybe right there. Also from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, I was able to get these. And so when I mail out patterns, things that don't have any bulk to them, this is a really good deal. There's 6 of them for $1.25. I think everything has gone up a little bit now. I also found these. I don't know if you guys have ever used these for sewing projects. I love them. I have them actually in here in with my zippers because it's just kind of random, but these are all little hair ties, but these are tiny skinny little ones, and I use them for closures. Like if instead of having to sew in an elastic, you sew the metal part into the item so it's not out, but then you have, anyway, I love it. For how many I got, let's see, does it say 100 for $1.25 from the dollar store? All right, so there is that. And then I found these, and I know it seems really silly. It's hard to believe how I could use these, but I picked up about 3 of each of these, and there's 2 different sizes because I have a lot of different sewing stations, and I'm always looking for just a little place to put things so they don't roll off. And some of my places are really, really limited in space, and so keeping them together, I just saw these and grabbed them and don't know exactly how I'm going to use them. But I did pick up, oh, there we go, some paint, so I can paint them unless I decide to leave them natural, but I think I'll be paint them. And then of course you got the little brushes. So all this came from the dollar store, and I'm so happy. There's one more thing I want to show you, and that is this. They have all kinds of baskets, and I just grabbed 2 of these. And what I do is, I know you can't really see this very well, but this is mostly projects and stuff. And what I'm going to do, I've got 2 bags. Let's do this. Ah. I have 2 bins down here that are projects I'm in the middle of, and I have these really awesome bags that I get on Amazon. So this has my Holly Jolly quilt from Annie's. This has the Bliss quilt along for the Fat Quarter Shop. So I put all the fabric from that line in here. And then I have another one that I'm working on, and it's in its own bag. So it's just kind of a nice way to keep things together, but yet not together. And I think that this thing I'm using is kind of odd shaped for these zipper bags. So I thought these would work a little better. The other one still works, but that's why I got this. So I have another one that I'm going to switch out. This one is the Dottie Quilt, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with that. That is a free quilt from Moda, and Stephanie Stitches is doing this as a sew along. I believe it's this Saturday she'll be doing it again, so look for her and follow her. But I got all excited when I saw this. It looks so cute. And let me find the pattern and I'll just give you a quick overview of that. Here we go. Dottie. This is actually a square quilt at 72 by 72. It uses 36 of a 40 piece jelly roll. I'm going to modify this and make it 1 row wider and 2 rows longer, so it will fit a queen. That's a new word. A queen or a twin, depending on how it's used. And so I was able to use a full jelly roll that I have, which is not this line, but I think I'm using, it's by Moda or Kona. I'm drawing a blank right now. Anyway, they're just solids, but it's a whole rainbow of peaches and pinks and coral, and it's going to be really soft looking. And I have a whole bunch of other solid pinks I could incorporate just to add more blocks, so it worked out really, really well. But I am going to show you my progress on this and how I'm putting the block together so you can see what I've been up to and see how simple this is, and maybe you will go get that. You don't have to do the sew along with Stephanie, although it's really nice to have that, but this is a free pattern, so it's really, really cool. So I will get to that in just a minute, but I just wanted to show you my buckets and why this one was relevant. So I'm going to move my stuff into here. Oops, put it over here. Okay. I also have more stuff. Oh, batteries. They're super heavy duty dollar store batteries. They should last more than a minute. We'll see. Okay, let's talk more detail about the Dottie quilt. What I've done is I've gone through, and each roll or square is a jelly roll strip. It's 1 strip, and it's paired up with a white strip. So you're going to go through the whole package of however many you want to do and match up a white and a yellow, white and a white. Oh my gosh. Match up a white strip to your solid, whatever line you're going to use. And then you're going to press them open, okay? And then you're going to go through and you're going to cut them. And it gives you the instructions on what to cut. But you're going to be cutting those strips into 2.5 inch wide strips. You're also going to cut them into 4.5 inch wide, and it tells you how many. Then you're going to need a couple extra white, so you will use more white than you will of the colors. But what I've done is I've gone through all the fabric that I want to use, and I have pressed it, and I had between 3 and 4 strips of each color, so I am going to have multiple of the same color, but all of this is the same, and there's 3 in here and there's 3 in here, and I'm slowly sewing them and getting them put together. But what I've done with these bags is I have put a couple stacks at a time in there, and that way I can pick up the bag, take it to the sewing machine, I can sew, keep it all nice and contained, and keep my colors together, because some of the colors are very subtly different. I don't know if you can see that, but they're real close. And I'm just one of those people that want some organization. So that's what I'm doing. Now I'm going to show you how I'm putting this together. So the first thing I'm doing is chain piecing. And you need for the block, ignore my scribbles, but you need 3 of the 4 squares. You need 4, so it's 1, 2, 3. You need 4 of the 2 squares, the 2 by these ones. And then you have these extra 2 ones that you use the extra white on, so I'll show you how that works. But right now, each block has the basic 5 I say in here? 7. The basic 7 blocks. They all have the same size. Pieced them, and because I have multiple strips of the same color, there's like 3 blocks here. But I'm gonna now cut them apart, press them open. So each block is gonna have 3 of these. They will also have 2 of these. Here's where that extra white block goes. And then you'll have this block that's not included in the chain piecing because there's nothing to do with it right now. Then we're going to lay them out. So I have already pressed these open. So the way you lay the block out is we're gonna put this one up there, this one here, this one is gonna go there, this one is going to go here, and this one goes in the opposite corner. So the instructions give you really good information on the layout of this. And so, again, you've got everything going exactly how the picture shows. And what you'll want to do is sew these 3 together, these 3 together, and these 3 together. Then once you have your columns, sew these 2 columns together, and then add this one to it, and then there's your block. And do that with every block. Here is at a glance the block. I've done one and it's on the design wall already. So you can see it's a good size block. It's 12.5 by 12.5. And look how cool that looks. Do you see the secondary pattern? This is the Dottie pattern by Moda. It comes out to be 72 by 72, and you use 36 strips. I am adding 1 more row, or 1 more column and 2 more rows, which will make it about 84 by 96, which can be a twin or a queen depending on how you use it. And so that's a lot more blocks. So there's actually 6 per row, so there's 12. I'm adding 20 blocks to this. So actually, the way I'm making it, it will have a total of 48 blocks for a 84 by 96, which is 7 by 8 in the rows. And that's what I've chosen to do. And then you can add different borders. Here they don't even have a border, and I might not want one either. This is the cute fabric, for the border that I'm going to be using. Look at all the scraps that were left over from this. This is a good size piece. It is measuring at 5.5 inches. So you could easily turn these into a pillow or add them to the border or something. These are my first couple blocks when I got out of control and cut the wrong things up. So I ended up with short pieces, and just because of the width of the strips, some of them ended up longer, but there's a lot of color still that can be used. And again, these are my scraps, so there's no way I'm going to get rid of these. These are good scraps. These are big. I have my fan blowing. Look at that. Look at all the colors. So, and what's cool about looking at it this way is this gives you a quick overview of all the colors, and this is what I'm going to use for my binding. It's not going to be pretty. So it has the melons and the coral and the pinks. You could even call this orange. But it will tie everything together, and being that it's a stripe will be really cute as a border print, or binding. Binding, not border. If I were to do a border, I'd probably do a solid of some kind. Okay, I am going to keep track of these 3 piles because I need to make sure they don't intermingle, because they're all the same color, the same sizes, they look the same, but it's going to make a problem when I go to put them together. There's all kinds of reasons why you need to mark things. You might have picked up a whole row and need to make sure that all your blocks stay in order. So there's lots of reasons and ways to mark. One of my favorite ways is to use these. These are little pins that have a number in them, and you can do something like that with the top of the pile. So this goes up, looks like up to 9. Nope, I take it back, there's 10. And it actually comes in a container that looks like this. And I know I found it on Amazon. If I can find the link to it, I'll give a direct link to it. But the link to get to Amazon will be below, and hopefully this will be close to it. So there's that. Now, the other one that's pretty common that I see people using are these alphabetties. They come in pink and they come in blue. These I've seen in most stores. These are really good. They're just a little tile. Okay, so the front and the back say the same thing. The thing I don't like about it is there's nothing holding it there. So if there's a fear of it coming off, this is not the way to go unless you tape it, and that wouldn't be good. But anyway, there's these. So there's numbers and letters with that one. And another thing, I have just picked these up and I'm excited to use them because I had a real need for this the other day. These are stickers that are Lori Holt, Be in My Bonnet for Riley Blake, and they have all these different colors, and they're to help organize, just like what they've done here, where they put block A, block B, C, and D. Sometimes, you know, something sticky and bigger works, and that's what this is. And then there's a ton in here. Let's see. This I got off Amazon too, but I'm pretty sure you can get it from any distributor who carries Riley Blake. The next one is kind of a compromise, just taking these color dot labels and a Sharpie or a marker of some kind, and then you have a label that's a sticky with whatever type of marking you want, whether it be A, B, C, Roman numerals, numbers, smiley faces. So there's another option right there. Okay, I also have these, which I have not used yet. They're just big, basic clothes wire, clothes hangers. Why am I drawing a blank? Clothes hangers. The nice thing about these is you can get like your whole pile, like if you had a pile like this hooked together, where these others, so far we don't have anything that will keep everything together. I would either write on the wood right here what it is, or combine it with maybe a pin or a sticker on the top piece. But look how nice that is to keep that separated. So the squares that I'm playing with right now are the squares for the Dottie Quilt that Stephanie Stitches is doing. It's her quilt along. It's a free pattern from Moda, and I'm going to give you an update on my progress on that soon, but that's what all these are, and it's coming together really well. Okay, another way to do this would be to use these little binder clips. I found a bunch of colored ones, and again, you can take a Sharpie and mark on it, or maybe the colors will help you, but you can clip your whole group, provided you have a nice edge. And another way to keep everything together. I'm all about being efficient, so constantly looking for things. Okay, now, so we got our clips. I put these in these little containers. They just came in a bag. In fact, there's 2 other colors. I put in another container because this wouldn't hold all of it, so I just divided it into 2 groups. And And I love these, and I'm going to show you what those containers are in just a minute. But we're going to finish doing this. Now this, I'm using one of those containers. It did not come in this either. This is called Quilt Block Markers by Purple Hobbies. Oh, I taped it in there. I'm thinking that will come out. It came in a little Ziploc bag, but it has these little alphabets. The cool thing about these is it has a hole for a pen. So you can, there we go, stick it on there. That's a Y. So however you want to mark it, but there's a little teeny pinhole at the top of each of the letters, and there's numbers in there too. So you can mark the top piece that way. Again, you're not going to be able to go through many layers, but if you're just doing one thickness, or that would work really well. But these I picked up in a local quilt store, and I have not seen these online, but the company is Purple Hobbies. Now I'm not endorsing any of these, I'm just telling you what I have found and what I like. So some of the products you're going to have to go on your own to figure out. Looks like purplehobbies.com is their website. Okay, we've got that. Believe it or not, there's more. This is my tried and true, you can tell I've used it, label system with just paper, A, B, C, D, however I want to do it. So what I'll do is I'll pick up my group, and I'll get a binder clip, and I'll just tape, not a binder clip, but one of these, or a binder clip. Anyway, and I'll just put the letter on there. I've also got some where I poked holes through it. Those don't last as long, and obviously these need to be replaced too. But you can just poke thread, needle right through it and attach it. Attach it like this, but you still have the same problem of it's only going to get the top couple of layers because it's not, the needles or pins are not going to go through a stack like this. But you definitely can make your own. Even though I have these others, I still use these a lot when I'm picking up blocks off of my design wall for the rows. And here's another one where I use Post-it notes, and I just have numbers on these. And the sticky didn't work after a while. It worked for like the first application. And then it's the same concept as this, where you stick it or pin it on there. I've also seen people use these what are they called? So-tights. They're kind of expensive. So you would be able to use it if you did not have a lot of stuff, because I don't remember what I paid for it, but those 5 right there were not cheap. And then here's some more in the purple. These are just what I happen to have. But these are a really strong magnet, and look, I have 5 of those too. And so this would work really well. They like to stick to each other, obviously. But I wonder if it will work through all this. Oh, look at that. It did it. That is a strong magnet. There you go. That's another way to attach it. I would probably, more realistically, for something this thick, use this just because that's me thinking it's not going to work. But clearly the other one did. Look at that. This is so long it's not hitting all the surfaces on the magnet because there's a lump. So this is working, but differently. But there you go. So tights will work, but you'll still want to do the same thing where you have a number or something on there with your so tight. It's just another function that you can use with those. And they're magnets. They love each other. And I do have 5 of those. There we go. Okay, so I've shown you a whole bunch of different ways to try to label and organize when you're quilting. I hope some of these were helpful. You'll have to tell me what you use and if you were able to get anything new out of what I was just showing you. I'd love to hear what you use and what you like. And if there's something I haven't run across, tell me. Let's find it and explore it together. I've got something else to share with you, and that is these bags I'm using to organize. I cannot remember how many came in this set. I want to say like 24, maybe 30, and they're big. They're plastic. They're all different sizes, and there's some that are even smaller than this. I love them because, as you can see, I can organize the cut up project. Now the bins that are up here, most of these are just fabric collections that I wanted to keep everything together. So I've got the backing, the binding, the background fabric, and then the vocal fabric of specific collections. But there's very few, there's a couple, like two, of the bins up here that actually have projects that are cut up and started in there. I'm going to move everything into bags like this because it's a lot easier. They're thinner. This is good when you still have everything in big solid pieces. But I love this because what I've done with the Dottie pattern is I've got like 5 of these with a couple different months in there. By the way, this is hair color, and that hit the floor. So anyway, I'm not injured. Although that is a bruise. I fell. That's a real bruise. This is hair color. And this is my hand healing. Okay, we got distracted. Anyway, these are great. And they're waterproof. Not that I anticipate needing that, but it's great. So you can keep your threads, your pins, your notions. This is great for traveling. I have gone ahead and placed an order for more of this size of all of these because I don't need any more small ones, but the big ones are great. So these are on Amazon. The link below to get to them will be on the link below. How's that? These big bags come in a variety of sizes. They are waterproof. They have a zipper and you can see through them. I'm using them right now to hold my pieces for the Dottie's quilt along, and I have been able to separate it. So here's another one, and keep my groups together. So this has been helping me out a lot. After I cut everything up and put it where I needed to, I put them in these bags. It's all the same project. There's a lot of extra little white pieces, so I put them in their own little bag. So that's how that's working for me. And then I just picked up this basket from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, and it's long and thin, and it's working great for this project. These are the extra pieces of that fabric, just in case I need something as I go along. And look how nice those all fit in there. This is going to be some border fabric I'm using on that project, and then I can file it, put it away where I can get to it. I also want to show you this. This is something I was able to pick up from Tuesday morning, although it's a craft supply. I've seen it everywhere. This is for photo albums. These are a whole bunch of little boxes. They're about 5 by 7. Let me see. I've never actually measured them. 4 by 6-ish, 6.5. So these will hold photographs really well, but they also hold a lot of little notions. And so this is a big empty container right here because I've already utilized some of my when you buy smaller packs that aren't necessarily in the big case, they come like this with a tray, and then the 6 cases in there, and they kind of fit in there really nice. And I've been able to organize these in my drawer and keep them how I need them to be. Let's see here, have I got everything? Oh, there we go, here's my last one. Look at that. So I can leave these out, I can move them around. I'm right now keeping them in these storage bins right here, which are what go behind me on the wall for the cubes. And these fit inside really nice, and then I can add more as I need it. So some of the things I've been using these for is things like this. These are those covers that go over a safety pin to make it so it's easier to use. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use those or not, but I saw those and I really like the idea. here's clips, here's more clips, and just kind of random things in this particular set. But I have extra scissors. These are all needle threading in things. These are pins. This is for bobbins. This is the beeswax. These are all sewing needles. So I'm able to quickly grab what I need instead of having to rummage through my drawer, knowing, okay, it's in this little compartment, this drawer here. But this way, I'm going to actually label these a little bit later so they will have a better organization so I can see them from the top. And I'll show you what this looks like when I get them all in here. All right, so this is my little cube, and I got the short one here, so I was able to put the pack of 6 right here, and then the 4 I had to, or the other 6 I had to split up. So I've got these two, and then some other types of case type things in here. And this drawer or case is so organized. Little random things in here. But I have this extra lid because it's actually the bottom for these 6. And someday I might use this in a different way. So I'm just kind of storing it right there just to have it have a place. But that's one of the ways I organize with my stuff that I organize. Another one, oh, this is kind of a messy one. I use these little containers, little tubs, and this is my zipper rip-rack, no, what is this? Velcro, fusible web, and elastic bin. And I want to make some memory bears. I don't know where to put the accessories I have for that, so they're kind of thrown in this box because there's room. But I have, you know, sometimes like these buckets are really helpful. I can just throw the elastic in there. And this is not organized very well, other than everything in here seems to be what it says on the outside. But that's how I keep myself straight and what works for me with my organization. And I've shown you these. These are the large Lily scrapbook storage binders, and I'm making this quilt, and so I've got stuff already cut out and in here that I'm working on for it. But I try to put like the whole project or all the fabric for that project in the bins, and then as I'm putting it together, I'll move them to the zippered bags. So these are really nice, and plus I like that I can see them and see through them, and kind of at a quick glance just reach up and take what works for me. Okay, some more organization I want to show you. These containers I love. They're Sterilite, and I have all of these little containers like this inside, holding different things. This is truly like my random notion box. Put these on the side so you can see. So I got elastic, buttons, googly eyes, sequins, pins, little colored clothespins, basic shirt buttons. What is this? Elastic cording. So I will take tape and put the label on the outside if it's not something that's easy to identify, like this one was. And like the same with this one, it gives me the exact size of what that is. It was like a whole package. And these are little grommets, and they actually came in this container, but that's what I like, is keeping everything nice and contained. And that's how I use these guys. So snaps, buckles, the snap fasteners. Can't think what that's called. I even have these. They're not in anything bigger, although this would work well in one of those plastic cases. These are those flex frame clasps that I actually just used in a project from the Sew What bag, and you'll see that in the next video where I go over those. So I have those that way, but I just want things to be nice and easy. So that's what this is. Like, they're clear containers with a clear container on the outside. I can see kind of quickly on the outside what it is. I get some other random things I'll just put on top that go with that, and I'll store them. So these are things I don't use a whole lot of right now, but I will be soon. You'll notice I have a lot of bins and baskets. These ones, there's like 6 of them throughout my sewing room, are for scraps that are truly scrappy. They're kind of a random size, a unique, oh, I know what this one is. This is different. This is one big long string. I've already sewn it together, and I'm going to put together like a jelly roll race. This one is scraps that are big enough to probably use on something, and I actually have a project that has a finished block that's about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches square, and I could use these for that teeny tiny block, but normally those are a bit small to hold on to. But stuff like this where it's useful, I can definitely see use for it. They're really good pieces. Why throw them away? They'll be really good for applique. Most of my other bins are over there by the applique, and they have a little more, oh, like this, lots of chunky pieces. So there's a lot you can do with that one. You could turn it into part of your scrap quilt too, but these are not big enough to really do a whole lot with. These are perfect for applique. And if you don't know what applique is, with machine embroidery, it is where you put fabric on top of what you're stitching, and then you stitch around it instead of filling in the area. You're gonna lay fabric on it. And so I can put in stuff like this is the body of the little bear I'm doing, or whatever, or I can give him a fuzzy body with fleece or something. So or just go brown, but that's how these are used. I picked these up from the Container Store. These are awesome. I also found them at Marshall's and Tuesday Morning, and probably any home good type store, and they fit my charm squares really nice. So I have several of these. I also have several of the big ones, and we don't have the best camera angle, but there you go. I've thrown in jelly rolls in here, and I like because I can see them. But these are also the same size as my cubicles. So my cubbies are about 13.5 by 13.5. And so I have the ability to put these in my shelving units and see what I have. Let's see if I can't. There. Oh boy. So there's that I just picked up right there. And then right below it are some more ways of putting fabric. These are those little scrap bins. This is pretty much my pre-cut area. And then over here, I think I'm in the way. Over here are the bins that I have my projects in. And every day I seem to find something new and move things around. So it's not necessarily the way it's gonna be. And look at that. My camera angle is really bad. I also am a subscriber to this American Quilting book, and American Patchwork and Quilting from Better Homes and Gardens. And I don't get, none of this is sponsored, by the way. I'm just sharing things that I have, but look how cute that is. That's a good scrappy blanket. You could easily use what you have, or use something specific, but I just thought I'd show you how cute this is, and I have some really cute ideas I'm getting out of here. I need more ideas, right? Okay, By the way, do you love my shirt? Click the link below to take you to my Etsy store where you can find all kinds of cute sayings and colors of shirts. All right, so that's it for today's video. Hopefully you were able to catch all the different things. I did have some slight issues with editing, so hopefully everything got in there. But if you have any questions, please let me know and leave comments. Thank you again. Have a great day.